So I just want to go through how you can set up a visualizer so you can actually see what this effect might actually look like in real life. A bit hard to tell from that using your imagination what that's going to look like on a stage, but let's just go with it from there. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to step you through how to sync this with the .2 3D that you can download from the same MA Lighting people. So I'm just going to start up that program. Just going to type 3D in here. First time you open this, sometimes it can take a while to load its database of fixtures and furniture and various things that you can put in your scene. But after it's loaded, it should be okay. Yep, come on, .2. Okay, cool, and we're there. So what we're looking for here is a broken heart, which indicates it's not syncing with the console. So let's fix that problem. We go back here, and we go here to setup, and we go here to sessions. Station's running standalone, that's normal. Go start new session, click on one. And now what we can do is connect to a device. So go here to add. And in here, you've got two choices, my computer name. So you look for that to make sure you're looking at yours. If you've set up your networking, sometimes you can see other people's computers in this list. Make sure you're choosing yours, look for your number, and look for the 3D. Station will add, it might take seconds till the station appears. There it is, it's green. And we're good to go. I'm going to press escape. Escape again, we're back to normal. Let's see what we've got. So back over here, I've got a green heart, that's what I'm looking for. So the syncing's working, and I've got lights all flashing. Now, mine have defaulted to this because I set this up earlier. Yours won't look like this. Yours will look like little blocks that have, like that little block there. That just look like a little square thing. Mine look like the proper fixtures pretty much. So I'll show you how to set that up. So over here in Assets, click on the first light, hold Shift, click on the last light, right click on them, choose Change Model. And in here, instead of it'll probably have one of these blocks selected, you choose like this one, a generic lead par. Okay, and press OK. And that will set them up as these guys. Now the other thing to think about these is sometimes they come in and their sizing is a bit odd when you change the model like that, like I just did. And to change that, just selecting nothing, select one. Over here you can see properties for that light, position in meters, so you can actually measure where things can be and set up your stage completely accurately, which is what I would like you to do. And also size. Now none of these lights are really this big. These little pars are never that big. I think they're approximately about 25 centimeters across. And so it'll be X 25. So I'll just type that in there. 25, Y 25, and Z maybe 30, but a little bit deeper than they are wide. And you can see that that one that I had currently selected has now gone down to a realistic size. It's still casting a beam of light. It's doing the right thing, what we want. One other thing is if you want to move them, you can select the light and you get this gizmo axis control. You can click and drag on the arrows to move it. And if you want it to shine in a different direction, you can see the position is set here as well. Okay. If you want it to shine in a certain direction, you can rotate it using these controls. So that was the move control. Rotation gives you this, and you can face it down onto the ground. And now you've got something that looks accurate. If you want to add things like musical instruments and people, like musicians, you can come down here to the media database, and you've got ballet dancers, you've got a drummer with a drum set. Maybe let's whack that guy on there. And there he is. So I could move him if I wanted to. Okay, it's not too bad actually where he is. Obviously not through the floor, he comes in by default on the floor, which is nice. And that will work nicely. If I want to navigate around the scene, I use my right mouse button. I use my scroll wheel to change what kind of thing it's doing. So if I want to orbit around the drummer, I use my scroll wheel while I'm holding my right mouse button down to move around like that, and I can see kind of how the lights are interacting with him, like that. Now I might use my scroll wheel to zoom out, okay, and I can get a different view. So pretty useful. So yeah, with the tape measure, you could actually work out exactly what your stage should be set up as. Here, got trussing, so you can set up all the bars that your lights are attached to at the right heights. Really useful. Platforms, instruments, environment. So you've got the actual rooms, the halls, open rooms, lots of stuff. So you can actually build a stage that looks pretty accurate and put your lights in it, including your moving heads. And the cool thing is, if you go back to your console, as long as you've got the green heart, you go back to your console, and if you make a change to your lights, boom, and I would decide that actually I want to see them all on, all off at the same time. Got them all selected. I'm going to go to 0 to synchronize them. Go back to the visualizer, and you can see that they're synchronized. So, pretty useful.